Gervonta Tank Davis has his rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. He's planning on fighting Jake Paul at the end of the year, which is going to be a super fight. This fight is going to make a lot of money. And ultimately, it's going to be a big payday for both fighters. And I respect Jake Paul for this because Jake Paul, he originally intended to fight the face of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And we all know Turkey Al-Sheikh basically stopped Canelo from taking that fight with Jake Paul. So Jake Paul started having negotiations with the second face of boxing, which is Gervonta Tank Davis. And obviously this would be a huge fight. We all know Tank is a knockout artist. We all know Jake Paul, you know, even though he doesn't fight the best opponents, he gets a lot of KOs. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. You know, size matters. Pause. There's weight classes for a reason, guys. Jake Paul is 6 feet tall. Gervonta Davis is 5'5", right? Jake Paul pretty much fights at, you know what, cruiserweight or light heavyweight. Like the guy's like 200 and something pounds, probably like 220, probably weighs in at, you know, 180 to 200 pounds, right? Gervonta Tank Davis fights at 135 pounds. So let's just say Gervonta Tank Davis's walk-around weight is like 150 to 160, right? So you got a huge difference in height and you got a huge difference in weight. Now, we just saw with Gervonta Tank Davis, he did not hurt Lamont Roach at all, right? So if you can't hurt a dude that's in your same weight class, what makes people think Gervonta Tank Davis could hurt Jake Paul? Like seriously, like that weight, that power isn't going to translate to a dude as big as Jake Paul, right? Obviously, if Tank was to hit Jake Paul flush, there is a possibility that he could get dropped, but there's also a possibility that those punches aren't going to hurt because he's so much taller and he weighs more than Tank. You understand what I'm saying? So he might be able to handle that power much better. You understand what I'm saying? I think this fight would be a huge upset for boxing fans because there's a possibility not only that Tank loses this fight, but there's a possibility that Jake Paul knocks out Gervonta Tank Davis. And like guys, think about this. What if Jake Paul was to knock out Gervonta Davis in the same fashion that he knocked out Nate Robinson? Yo, could you guys imagine? Like, the world might stop for a couple of seconds, y'all. Like, hip-hop culture and African-American culture, all that shit might be destroyed in one day if Jake Paul was to do that, bruh. Because y'all